Jamahiriya TV. Al Jamahiriya First Channel. Our movement will be approved by history. Hello, you're watching Al Jamahiriya News 1.
December 1st news. An important rat, whose name is Al Mangush, a field leader in the rat's army, has been kidnapped in Morocco. Nobody knows where he is. A group of refugees from the city of Tuarega has built a protest camp next to the National Congress, as they try to inform international organizations about the deeds of the rats in Tripoli, but the pro-Western regime pays no attention to the fact that the rat gangs humiliate, shoots at, and kills them. Refugees from Tuarega, who live in plastic shacks, say that the regime has specially created intolerable living conditions for refugees there, including blacks and people from other cities. They're forced to leave Libya, and no one cares about their safety. Any of them can become a victim of a bandit group, and anyone can be killed or raped regardless of gender and age. Many women and girls from Tuarega have become captives in bandits' brothels. There are no words to describe these private prisons where women and girls are being kept. This activity started in February 2011 and is ongoing. Free alcohol is a new reality of occupied Libya. The paradox is that under the guidance of Islamism in the country, the Western way of life is a disease. The paradox is that Islam as a religion totally rejects the acceptance of alcohol in any quantity. Photo made in Tripoli. Protesting workers of Libyan state oil company Repsol stopped pumping oil after the regime ignored their demands to pay them salary. Workers and specialists require the creation of plants for oil refining and opening of a petroleum institute. The purpose of the workers' demands job creation and training for the oil industry of the south of Libya. The still exports from the field 200,000 barrels per day. Workers threaten to cease production of the field, from which the oil is shipped directly to Italy. Most of Libya oil and gas get to the market illegally. Oil and gas exportation is now under control of emissaries from Qatar. Employees of oil and gas ports are replaced by Libyan Qatari workers who used to work in slave-like conditions of their homeland and without a salary, and many of them are sick with hepatitis. Benghazi. Occupational regime's police stations in Benghazi are constantly attacked by competing bandit groups which use guns and rocket-propelled grenades to destroy the buildings. According to eyewitnesses, some gangs are taking revenge against other more fortunate people who became part of the police regime, who because of their positions get more opportunities for robbery and other illegal activity. Tripoli. Military prosecution of the occupation regime of Libya accused the former head of the National Transitional Council, Mustafa Abdel Jalil, of power abuse and undermining national unity. It's believed that Jalil was in conflict with the former general of Muammar Gaddafi, Abdel Fattah Yunus, who was murdered in July 2011 under mysterious circumstances. Jalil was in Benghazi on the day of Yunus's death and had met with him. This fact gave reason to accuse him of involvement in the murder. Former head of the PNC was questioned in the murder of the general. He was allowed to go free, but banned from leaving the country. Tripoli. The occupation regime continues to put into prison those people who are suspected to resist. In private prisons, such people are subjected to beatings, torture, and violence, regardless of age and gender. The sheikh of the Warfala tribe, Mohammed Ahmed El-Shandoli, aged 78, died from beatings and torture in a prison of the armed gangs of the occupation regime in Tripoli. Intimidation of Libyans continues. In fact, even some rats are afraid to say anything against their regime. Benghazi. The son of Omar al-Mukhtar, Haji Mohammed Omar Mukhtar, who supported the so-called revolution, complained in his interview for a Libyan TV channel that the regime does not care about him, although he worked for the fake revolution. Let us remind you that in Gaddafi's Jamahiriya, he was surrounded with care and respect as the son of the hero of the Libyan state. But yielding to the promises of traitors of the country, who promised him mountains of gold, he went under the banner of the rats and was allowed to use the heroic name of his father to help rats fight against the Jamahiriya. His actions insult the memory of the heroic ancestor Omar al-Mukhtar and the great son of the Libyan people. He even told lies against Gaddafi, declaring at the beginning of the revolution that the insurgents had saved him from the leader of the Jamahiriya and even welcomed the return of a King Idris relative. Like many other people, the bandits used him in their political games, and now he's paying a big price for his betrayal. He's no longer interesting to those who personify the present-day occupation regime. He became one of the many poor and abandoned Libyan elderly. Derna. In Derna City, the Attorney General and the head of Court of Appeals of the city, Mohammed al-Nassa, had been robbed at around 8 p.m. This official and his guards fled. Such robberies have now become the norm across Libya. Saba. The students of the Higher Institute of Saba decided to celebrate the day King Idris occupied the throne of Libya. They tied green ribbons on bars of the windows and doors at the university in the early morning of the 27th of December. Kidnapping of children for ransom, sexual slavery, and selling people abroad has become a source of danger for life in occupied Libya. Children can be kidnapped in the streets, from hospitals, or from the refugee camps under the protection of the United Nations, or robbed straight from cars when the parents are excommunicated, and can happen in minutes. Here are some pictures of missing children in this country. The occupying puppet regime has decayed morally in comparison with traditional Libyan society. Now, under the flag of Islam and Sharia law, they promote anti-Islam homosexuality. Homosexuality is common among the so-called revolutionaries. Here's their pictures. Look at the ugly faces of the revolution. Rather than restore the devastated country, the rats have built strange buildings. The meaning of this architecture is hardly understood even by them. Thus, in the center of Benghazi has been built a structure that appears to be cigarettes painted in the colors of the flag of the homosexuals, which is prohibited in Islam. Another highly intelligent monument shows a bunny which looks like the logo of Playboy magazine. It's really a problem of lack of imagination and moral principles among the rats. This is the way the true patriots of Libya express their attitude to the rat's flag of the occupational regime.
اصحتي 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 طول الحياة إن بالفقر زنا اصحتي اصحتي اصحتي.
Jamahiriya TV. Jamahiriya First Channel. Our movement will be approved by history.